Oh my goodness, this is the DJI Mic 3, and this little transmitter, 16 grams, can do a whole lot. 32-bit float, dual 32-bit float internal recording. It has timecode in and out. You can connect 4 of these transmitters to one receiver, and you can connect 8 receivers at once for multicam setups. You can color your voice 3 different ways. There are 2 levels of noise canceling. You can get a Sony hot shoe adapter and use no wires for your Sony cameras. You can also use no wires for your DJI devices using the DJI Osmo Audio Connect. It also has Bluetooth to go to other devices. It is small and compact, and all of it, including its accessories, fit in this little charging case. We need to talk about it. So in this video here, I'm going to compare the little DJI Mic to the Rode Wireless Pro. These two are pretty much king of the hill when it comes to most people's thoughts on wireless lavalier systems. And I will also compare this to the Hollyland Lark Max 2 in an upcoming video. But right now, I'm going to stick to the Rode Wireless Pro. In fact, DJI is sponsoring this video, and they asked me specifically to do a comparison to the Rode Wireless Pro. They wanted honest feedback, and that's what they're going to get, because I do recommend this microphone for certain people, and you will see why. And of course, I will do a head-to-head sound test in the exact same environment with absolutely no audio editing, so you can hear the differences for yourself. Now, you will see that the DJI has many advantages over the Rode. However, the advantages that the Rode has over the DJI may be deal breakers for some people, and I will rapid fire list the advantages and disadvantages towards the end of the video. Let's talk about what you get if you buy the full combo package. You get a nice soft carrying case, and this is actually padded. It is soft, but it's got some nice padding. You may not need to take the case because, as I say, all the stuff can be housed in the charging case, but I still like to take it around to protect the DJI if I'm banging it around in my camera bag. Nice to have a little case, plus I can take extra accessories too. The charging case itself is the familiar DJI charging case. You can get up to 28 hours of recording time, and look at this, you see this? 2 little magnets housed up top along with the 3.5 millimeter cord, the 2 tiny transmitters, and the receiver, all in there. You can also get the furry wind muffs. They have 4 furry wind muffs. So you have the 2 bigger ones for windier days, and then the 2 smaller ones for mild breezes, or maybe if you're inside and worried about a little wind. And they will also fit in the charging case. See, it's all in here, and I can also stick the extra 2 wind muffs in the top, close it all. There you go, Bob is your uncle. The 2 little transmitters are 16 grams if you keep the magnetic clip attached to the back. They're even lighter if you take this off, and you can take it off. It is on magnetically, and you can reposition this. Oh, I've lost focus. You can reposition this clip in different ways. So let's say the talent, you got a bunch of talent that you're filming. I love that when we call regular people talent. He's a groom. He's not talent, Steve. Anyway, you attach this to Steve's clothing. Let's say he's got a weird shirt. You can change the positioning of this to horizontal to vertical, upside down, whichever way you need, and it actually has a little locking mechanism. So it's not just the magnet, it kind of locks in place with the magnet, which is great. Now, if you want to use the transmitter without the clip and just a magnet, there's a couple right there housed up top. So let's get one of these magnets out, and you can see it is so small. Look at this. Look at blink. And now what I like to do with little mics like this is I put them on the inside of my shirt, and then I put the magnet on the outside. And look at this discreet setup. Nobody knows what I'm doing and that I'm recording my fabulous make-em-ups. The transmitter has 2 buttons on the side. If you double press the record button, then the light changes from green to yellow. That means noise canceling is enabled. Now, if you have the strong noise canceling set on the receiver, then double clicking will set the strong noise canceling. If you have the basic noise canceling set on the receiver, it will start the basic noise canceling. And if you just press the record button once, then it starts the red recording. Now, this is where the dual 32-bit float thing comes into play, in that let's say you're using noise canceling while you are recording internally, or you're using one of the EQ variations of your 3 levels of different voice variations, then you can get 2 different audio files. It will record both. It will record the original 32-bit raw audio, and will also record the one that has the noise canceling or the voice coloration on it, so you get to choose the best of both worlds. You have a very responsive touchscreen here on the receiver. You can control everything for your transmitters on the receiver. You want to mute them, mute one of them, mute both of them, turn the recording on or off, change it from 32-bit float to 24-bit if you want to enable the basic noise canceling or the strong noise canceling, if you want to use the different voice variations, if you want to use the low pass filter, whatever you want to do, you can navigate it very easily from this menu, and you can also do it from the Robust app. If you want to connect the Mic 3 to your phone or a tablet, you just press this button here on the side that releases this back, and then you put in the appropriate, whether it's Apple Lightning or USB-C, to the back of your DJI, and then clip that to your phone and you are done. Now, it's not the smallest and most elegant solution, but it is a pretty smart way to save space and keep everything in this charging case. It has a very short 3.5mm cable that can go into your camera, and it also, as you can see, has a locking mechanism, and that is for the receiver itself. And that is kind of good because you know you're not going to pull it out by accident. You got Steve messing around with your camera, yanking things out. Not going to happen on DJI's watch. And also, in a dim environment, you're not going to put it in the wrong hole there. Like, that one is for the headphone out, and you won't make a mistake because you know this one has to be locked in. Also comes with a USB-C cable, and this is not just for charging, but also for off-putting your audio from the transmitters onto your computer. So you put the two transmitters in the charging case along with the receiver, and then you connect the USB-C cable to the charging case to your computer, and then you drag the audio files off the two transmitters onto your computer. Now, the Rode system is quite different. They give you two little carrying pouches, which is kind of good. You have accessories in one, and you have the transmitters and the receiver in the other one. This is the transmitter, and the receiver of the Rode Wireless Pro just has the magnets and the units themselves. And in this one, you see accessories, a whole lot of accessories. Look at all this stuff that you get with the Rode. So you may want to use that stuff, and you can't use that stuff with the DJI. What stuff specifically? This right here. You see that little hole? That is for this guy, a 3.5mm lavalier microphone. And a lot of people are going to get this because of the lavalier microphone. Number one, it is a locking microphone. So your Steve morons can't yank it out because it will be locked in. You can just hide this on somebody's belt and then have a discreet little lavalier microphone. The pros often want something just like this, and it won't be good enough for them to just have a little transmitter like the DJI to go do a professional production. Now, of course, you can use the transmitters themselves on the Rode. It has a microphone capsule and comes with furry little wind muffs to accompany it in case you don't want to use the lavalier microphone and you don't mind having a rather large transmitter hanging off your clothing. And while the Rode logo is slightly more subtle than the DJI is pretty bright white there. The Rode is still giant, and it has a big billboard of Rode's logo, and is also shiny. It's got a really shiny appearance to it. So I find that is pretty eye-catching. I do like to hide this and use the lavalier system. With the DJI, I'll probably just reverse it under my shirt instead of having the big DJI logo stick out. Now, unfortunately, if you want to connect the Rode to your phone, you're just going to have to dangle it with a USB-C cord. There's no way to just attach it neatly to your tablet or your phone, which is less than ideal. So now let's do that head-to-head sound test. I'm using the ZV-E10 Mark II's internal microphone as a palate cleanser right now. I don't want these mics to have to compete with my boom shotgun mic, my Rode NTG3 going into a Zoom F3 recorder. That's about a $1,300 USD setup. So these mics are going to compete with this, the ZV-E10 Mark II's internal audio. This is the sound of the 32-bit float recording on the DJI Mic 3. I am not using any noise canceling. I am not changing my voice in any way in the app or in EQ. This is how it sounds coming straight out of the transmitter itself. This is the sound of the Rode Wireless Pro, the 32-bit float internal recording. How does my voice sound when we compare it to the DJI Mic 3? Mark Bennett is as handsome as he is intelligent, which is very. Mark Bennett is as handsome as he is intelligent, which is very. And because I like using the included 3.5mm lavalier with the Rode Wireless Pro, let's try that out right now. In fact, that is what I am doing. This is the sound of the Rode Wireless Pro using the 3.5mm lavalier microphone. Mark Bennett is as handsome as he is intelligent, which is very. Mark Bennett is as handsome as he is intelligent, which is very. So now I am out here vlogging my nonsense, Rode Wireless Pro. We also have the DJI Mic 3. How do they sound out in the real world? I gotta tell you, I think both sound absolutely amazing. I would be happy with either one. In fact, I am happy with either one. Here comes a car right now to ruin my perfect vlog. Don't you know people are doing important things here? All right, I'm gonna say the same line. Well, I'll say the line once and then I will play the recording twice in each different microphone. Mark Bennett is as handsome as he is intelligent, which is very. Mark Bennett is as handsome as he is intelligent, which is very. And now let me try the noise canceling here on the mic as cars are blowing by on the DJI, of course. So now the noise canceling is on the DJI microphone. The Rode Wireless Pro has no noise canceling at all. Does it sound any better, any worse? You let me know in the comments down below. So let me know down below which sound quality you preferred and why. Let me show you the app real quick. I have connected it to my phone here and we got a nice picture of the Mic 3 and then you can see all of the different settings for your transmitters. And right here we can turn the recording on or off. We can mute the microphones, or we can change the transmitter gain if we want. We can format the actual transmitters to clear them, and we can change our voice tone to regular, to rich, to bright. And so that is the voice tone that you can do with the different EQ levels. You have noise reduction here. You can have the strong or the basic. You can change your audio channel from mono to stereo to quadraphonic, and that is if you want to put the 4 different transmitters on to the one receiver. In fact, if you're using the Sony Hot Shoe accessory that you can buy, you can change it to Sony 4-channel audio and then use all of the 4 transmitters going directly to a separate channel with no wires to your Sony camera. That's pretty cool. And you can do a few other things like auto power on and off with your camera, auto off after a certain period of time. There is just a lot you can do with this app. I think it's really great. So let's rapid fire list off the advantages these microphones have over each other. With the Rode, it's not many, but one of them is a very big one for a lot of people, and that is a 3.5 millimeter lavalier, and that lavalier is a locking lavalier. You also have a more subtle logo, especially if you're going to use a lavalier, you won't even notice that at all. And you also have a safety track on the Rode that is not present on the DJI. So that will record to your camera. If you do safety track, one track will be 6 decibels less than the other track. If you're doing 32-bit float recording, maybe it won't matter, but if you're recording straight to your camera, then sometimes it is really great to have a safety track. Looking at the DJI, there are definitely some advantages for sure. We have a smaller, lighter transmitter, easier to put on your clothing. That magnetic clip on the back can go on in different ways. It has the magnet itself. Everything can be housed in one little charging case with the wind muffs and the cables and the magnets. It's got the 2 levels of noise canceling. You can record dual 32-bit float recording, so you can record the noise canceling or colored voice to go along with the original raw untouched recording. It's a much better connection to your phone or tablet as it links right in there. The Rode has to dangle by a cord, which is not great. The app itself is more robust and you can do more things on the DJI Mic. You can connect 4 of these transmitters to one receiver, and you can connect 8 receivers to those 4 transmitters, so you could have a big multicam setup, or you could just get 4 people being able to go into one camera or go into 8 cameras. That is a big advantage. You have Bluetooth inside, so that can go to your phones or your tablets. It's not the greatest audio signal in the world, but in a pinch, it is great to be able to connect to things using Bluetooth. And they also have the DJI Osmo Audio Connect, so it goes straight to DJI devices like the Action 4, Action 5, Pocket 3, and I'm sure other devices that will be coming out. And that is a much better signal than your regular Bluetooth, so it sounds really great if you have DJI devices. It's a bit of a no-brainer. You can buy an extra accessory for the Sony Hot Shoe, so you don't need to use the 3.5 millimeter cable to go into your camera if you have one of the newer Sonys, so that is a really convenient accessory. You have the option of using indoors or outdoors with the DJI, and that means if you're inside and there's there's a lot of people going to be using the 2.4 gigahertz transmission signal and you're worried about interference than you do indoors, and theoretically that can help you avoid some of that interference. And I think the DJI is much easier to use for a beginner. It is more intuitive in general. It has a touch screen that you can navigate quite well. With the Rode, you have to do a series of button presses, so it is not a touch screen. You just have to do these button presses to navigate. I do find that to be a little clunky. It is not that intuitive. Once you learn it, it's okay, and especially if you're going to use your Rode over and over again the same way you set it up once, you don't have to worry about it. But if you want to change settings on the fly, the Rode, much more difficult to do so. And also for price, we have in DJI's favor $329 versus $399 the last time I checked for the Rode Wireless Pro. But the Rode Wireless Pro does come with two nice lavalier microphones, so the overall value in some people's minds goes to the Rode, but the actual price itself for the units goes to the DJI. So let me know down below which of these two microphones would you choose and why, and we can have a nice little discussion about it. Hey, thanks for watching this. We'll talk to you again soon. Okay, bye-bye.